Spools blocks this month. I like a Spools block, and you can do them in different varieties, you know, short and fat, long and thin, all sorts. And they look very different in different fabrics. So this is the mat we'll be creating. If that's what you want to create, you can put them together in any way you want to, but I think it's lovely. Do you like it, Mark?
I do.
Not
you
as
could
much
easily
as
make it a
last
nice
month.
cushion like that as well, couldn't you?
Yeah, you could. Yeah. I'll just show you it in a different fabric, which looks so different, doesn't it? I'll put it up there. Don't you think it looks different? Very different. So just to show you, you know, especially if you're on the pattern option, that you can, you know, it looks very different in different fabrics, but don't be afraid to try. I tried 3 before I came to this finished one, so that's okay. Right, very easy to do. And what we want to try and do is get our points like this here, spot on at these corners, okay? Now I'm going to show you a bad one, just to show you, you know, I'm just human.
It does happen.
I'm just human like the rest of you. Not so good. So aim for, you know, you've got lots of time to do this, a whole month to get this done, and take your time in doing it. And I'm going to show you, explain why mine could have been a little bit out. One, because I'm going too fast, obviously, but that's not my normal thing. Right, this is the process we do first here. Right, so lovely pictures, and that's going to form the top of the and bottom of the actual cotton reel. So we start with a rectangle and 2 squares, and we take the corners, replace the corner colour to give you the shape to make the spool. Okay, and that's the beauty of patchwork. I mean, we're just using a square and rectangles. You know, we could cut, you know, dodgy shapes and all the rest of it, but we're not going to be doing that. So this is what we're doing. This is like what I've just shown you, 2 of these. Draw a diagonal line corner to corner on your cream squares, and you're going to place it on there. And the only thing you have to remember is to stitch them in the right direction. Okay, so that's going that way, and that's our picture over here going that way. The next one will go on and go the other way, right? So it's keep your eye on my pictures so that you're doing exactly the same to create the right shape. Otherwise you'll have a wonky cotton reel, heaven forbid. You're going to stitch on the line in this case, so it goes like so on the line, and make sure you stay on your line and it goes all the way to the point. Now I'll be honest with you, when I was doing mine I thought, oh, I don't need to draw that line, I'll just what we call eyeball it, and instead of drawing a line I just whipped across, and that's when you lose your accuracy. So I would draw the line, but you know, sometimes sometimes it's important that it's exact and sometimes it's not. Like if you do a floating star block, which I don't think we've done yet, we might do that, it doesn't matter so much, but this you want them to match up. So I would draw my lines, you know, draw my lines, and then you trim off, leaving 1/4 of an inch. So you put my ruler, so this is a little bit you cut off, so my ruler here is on the 1/4 inch line, so that I've left that there. Turn it round and do exactly the same on the other side. So you make 2 of these per block, per spool. This makes a nice quilt as well. I need about a lot more time, don't I? This I'd like to make this in lots of different colours with lots of different spools. Be gorgeous, wouldn't it?
Different size would be nice, yeah, different size spools.
Yeah.
But that would be difficult to calculate.
Okay, so there's our one piece, here's our other piece. Like one I did earlier.
So that's the top and bottom?
Top and bottom, so top and bottom, like that. Now, as you can see here, these are just 2 rectangles, okay? Now this little beauty in the middle, okay? I decided in my wisdom that it would be nice to have strips of fabric representing thread on a spool. So this shows you exactly what to do. These are the quite thin strips which Mark loved cutting, didn't you?
Very much.
So mix your strips up, and I'd cut you've got two lots, half width, because it's a long way to go all the way across the width and keep it nice and straight. So I cut them and do them in 2 bits. It's entirely up to you. You don't have to. You can please yourself. So we're joining them up, and every time you join them, so straight line sewing, you don't need to watch me do that. Every time you add one though, press it. Don't put them all on together. So put one onto the other and press. Next on, press. Next
Which way
on,
do you press?
I just press them all the same way. It doesn't matter. But I did
Okay.
go all the same way. Because you have.
There's a light and a dark. You see, that's why I asked.
That's a good question, Mark. Good question. But I just went all the one way because this is only 3/4 wide, I think. Yeah, it is. So you've got like seam allowance, and thread.
A smidge in the middle.
Yeah. When you get to the end, you've got to chop up your strip into 2.5-inch sections, okay? And if they go out of shape a little bit, like here, you can see this one's slightly going out of shape there. You can trim it down as long as it's 2.5. So you can take a smidge off, like you can see here at the bottom. Like I've got quite a fat bit here, look. And then they vary in width because you don't. A reader's thread has that nature, doesn't it? So we've got a thin bit at the bottom. That's fine. It's supposed to just look like thread round,
And again, in the big picture,
wrapped around a spool, which, you know, if you've got a variegated thread, they never look the same. So just take your time with your nice little thin strips and work your way through, and it'll all come right. Shows you exactly how to join your pieces. I think, like, I put them together like this just because I wanted to, but you could put them in a long row, or you could make some more in your own colours and make it bigger, whatever you wanted. And then it's just joined with sashing in the middle. So I joined 2 spools, top and bottom, 2, 3, and then I put my 4 strips on here, and then 1 top and bottom there. And that's it. It's a turned through mat. It's not got any binding or anything, so really easy. And I haven't even quilted it. I've stopped quilting mats too much because you need them to lie nice and flat as you can. And I just think it's gorgeous. So I hope you enjoy making it, and I'll see you again soon.